I drunkenly flirted with the bartender all night, came home to find my bags packed. Hello, Reddit. Longtime lurker on here. But this is my first time posting, using a throwaway account because there's no fucking way I want this tied to my main. I need to scream it somewhere. And I guess this is where the screaming happens. So, I'm a 34-year-old woman. My husband, well, soon-to-be ex, I guess, is 33. We've been married for about 4 years, but we've been together since college, since our early 20s. And let me start by saying this right up front. My husband is a very, very calm person, like almost unnervingly calm. Always has been. He doesn't scream, doesn't get in your face, doesn't accuse, doesn't snoop, doesn't pry. He's just grounded. He believes in people, gives them the benefit of the doubt, especially when he loves you, when he trusts with no doubts. That's just who he is. Not the type to scroll through your phone. Not the type to get pissy because you laugh too loud at someone else's joke. Not the type to question you if you come home late. He's the kind of person who just lets you breathe. He always said, if I have to police you, you shouldn't be mine in the first place. And maybe that's why this whole thing feels so much worse, because I didn't just fuck up. I fucked up someone who actually deserved better, someone who never doubted me, someone who always assumed the best. And I know some of y'all reading this are going to want to hurl a rock at my head by the time I'm done telling this story. And honestly, fair. I kind of want to do the same to myself. You're probably going to want to throw a whole ass brick even. And honestly, I get it. I really do. Because by the time I finished replaying what the hell I did that night in my head for the millionth time, I thought the exact same thing. Oh my God, you are so fucking stupid. And yeah, I know I am. It's not even just hindsight is 2020. Nah, I knew at the time I was doing dumb shit, but knowing it didn't stop me. It's like watching your hand reach for the fire and being like, oh wow, that's hot, but not pulling away. Just standing there like a moron, burning anyway. So yeah, I'll say it again. I am very, very stupid. Now let's talk about my husband again, the calm, trusting, emotionally grounded man I mentioned before. The man who's basically walking Zen, just doing life at his own peaceful, unbothered frequency. That whole thing, it's a good thing, in theory, and even in practice most days. It's a blessing being with someone like that. But, yeah, there's a but. And here's where the rock-throwing crowd starts warming up their arms. There were times, small, dumb little moments where that calm, that trust, that lack of possessiveness, it got on my nerves. I know, it sounds crazy, but just hear me out. He was never jealous, not even once, never asked who I was texting, never checked my location, never questioned anything. He just trusted me, completely. And for some weird, twisted reason, that started to piss me off. Like, I love that he was calm and chill and gave me space. I love that he didn't try to control me. But deep down, deep, dark, embarrassing down, I started to feel like, damn, does he even care that much? I'd never seen him jealous. Not once in all our years together. And it planted this stupid, shitty little seed in my brain that maybe, just maybe, he wasn't obsessed with me like I thought he should be. Like, I know how it sounds, I know. But I guess I always imagined being with someone who would get a little territorial, just a little possessive. Someone who'd grab my waist when another man looked too long. Someone who'd glare a little, just enough to let me know, you're mine. And don't even lie to yourself. Some of you get it. We all crave a little chaos sometimes. A little fire, a little drama. That toxic, I want to fight just to feel something energy. Not all the time. But once in a while, yeah, I think I wanted to feel like he'd fight for me. That he'd feel something real if he thought he might lose me. But he never did. He never even gave me a flicker of jealousy. And that's where the real problem began. That's when I started testing waters that didn't need testing. And spoiler alert, I drowned. Now that I actually sit with it, like really sit with it, take a deep breath, stare at the ceiling, replay every little thing in my head, I realized something kind of stupid, and also kind of important. There was never really any scenario where my husband should have gotten jealous. Like, let's be for real. Let's take all the emotion out of it for a second and look at the facts. It's not like every time I stepped out the house, men were lining up to flirt with me. It's not like I was this walking magnet for temptation. I wasn't getting hit on left and right like some hot girl summer fantasy. There was no daily drama, no strangers slipping me numbers at bars, no wild flirtation at work, none of that. And there sure as hell wasn't any dude trying to flirt with me in front of my husband either. No slick comments, no disrespect, no let me shoot my shot moments, nothing. So when you actually think about it, and I mean actually think, not that twisted little insecure voice in your head kind of thinking, there wasn't any real moment that would have made him feel the need to puff his chest, grab my hand, throw a glare, and go, "Back off, that's my wife." He didn't act possessive or jealous because there was literally no reason to be. But see, I never thought about that. Not back then. That rational voice, it was on mute, completely drowned out by the other one. You know the one I'm talking about. That shitty, toxic, anxiety-fueled little voice that whispers garbage to you at 2 a.m. when you can't sleep. It didn't say, "Hey girl, maybe he's just secure and mature and sees no threat," because there's literally no threat. No, that little bastard said, "He doesn't care. He's not jealous because he's not into you like that anymore. He doesn't love you like he used to. Maybe he never really did." And it said it over and over and over again. Until one day I started believing it. That was the start of the downward spiral. Not a fight, not a betrayal, not some red flag flapping in my face. Just me, my own head, my own toxic thoughts feeding me lies. Whispering shit like, if he really loved you, he'd be jealous. A man who truly loves his woman doesn't just sit there calm and cool when another guy looks at her. Why does he seem so unbothered? Is he bored of you? Is he tired? And that's what fucked me up. So yeah, I started listening to that voice in my head. You know the one. The dumb, dramatic, anxiety-fueled voice that has no business being in the driver's seat, but somehow hijacks the whole damn wheel anyway. I started thinking maybe he doesn't really care, and I believed it. And yeah, I'm ashamed of myself now, fully. Wish I could go back in time and smack the phone out of my hand or scream, "Sit down, idiot," at past me. But you know what they say. Hindsight is 20/20. Or maybe I'm just dumb. Honestly, yeah, I probably am. At first, I started small, like really small, tiny drama, just little stunts to rile him up. For laughs, I told myself. Just a bit of fun. A little shake to the system. I wasn't trying to start a war, I just wanted to see something. Feel something. Make him feel something. Shake his calm a little, Like, does this man even flinch? So I started with my phone. He'd walk into the room and I'd do that shady-ass phone move. You know the one. You're texting, then they walk in, and you suddenly lock your phone like it's got CIA secrets on it. Or you put it face down real quick. Or act all weird and stiff like you weren't just laughing at a meme 2 seconds ago. Like I'd be acting like I was hiding national security level info, when really I was just trying to get a rise out of him. When he'd sit next to me on the couch and glance in the general direction of my phone, I'd snatch it up like, that's private, even though he wasn't even looking. Even though he wasn't even interested. Even though he's never been the type to go through my phone because, get this, he actually trusts me. Which you'd think would be a good thing. But not to my dumbass, not back then. To me it felt like indifference. And what did he do? Nothing. He never questioned me, never accused me, never gave me the "who are you texting" interrogation. He didn't check my phone at night, didn't scroll through my messages while I was in the shower. Nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. And that drove me nuts. Because instead of reassuring me like, wow, I married a secure, emotionally mature man, the shitty little troll voice in my head took that silence as proof that, yep, told you, he doesn't love you, he doesn't even care enough to be suspicious. It gave that dark little corner of my brain more ammo. It fed the self-doubt, fueled the insecurity, made that voice louder. See, he's not even curious. He doesn't ask questions. He just lets you act shady as hell and doesn't blink. It's because he's over you. He's checked out. And I believed that. I believed all of it. Instead of realizing that maybe he just trusted me. I spiraled. I let my own dumb self-sabotaging behavior get louder. God, I look back and cringe so hard it physically hurts. But back then, I didn't care. I wanted drama. I wanted reaction. I wanted him to snap. And yeah, maybe I should have mentioned it to my husband, right? I mean, just said it plainly. Hey babe, I've literally never seen you get jealous. Not even once. Not even a flicker. That would have been the adult thing to do. The reasonable thing. The bare minimum communication level thing. But guess what? I didn't. Nope. I never brought it up. Never said a damn word. I let it simmer. Let it sit there in the back of my brain like some annoying pop-up notification that I kept swiping away instead of clicking. And yeah, that was stupid. I know. And just so we're clear, I'm not trying to justify anything I did, like at all. This isn't me trying to sugarcoat my actions or be like, oh, poor me, I was just confused and fragile. No, this is me owning it. This is me laying it all out, ugly and raw, because this is how I cope. This is how I process it. This is me taking all the damn words and spilling them out exactly how they happened, from my messed up, slightly drunk, regret-ridden perspective. I know what I did was shitty, capital S, underlined, italicized, and I know I deserve the consequences, every single one, and I probably deserve whatever's still coming. We had a night out, one of those we never get to see each other anymore kind of friend group things. Just a bunch of us, old friends, couples, singles, married folks, going out to unwind. Nothing wild, just a few drinks, some music, some laughs, catching up on life. It was supposed to be harmless. Keyword, supposed. We get to the bar. At first everything's smooth, good vibes, music's not too loud, drinks are flowing, everyone's chill, and of course I'm drinking, which looking back now was dumb. I should not have been drinking like at all, but did I stop at one drink too? Nope. I was out here sipping like it was water, like nothing bad ever happens after tequila number 4. Now the bartender was this really nice guy, and I mean it. Now that I actually think about it, he was probably just being friendly, like genuinely polite, the kind of guy who talks with his hands, laughs loud, and compliments people without meaning anything deep by it. But he was also hot. So, of course, while drunk, I misread that friendliness as flirting. And honestly, I was flattered. I'd never experienced that before. Like I said, never been out somewhere and had a guy openly flirt with me, especially not while I was out with my husband. So this attention, it felt new. It felt good. And I leaned into it. Drunk me thought, he's flirting? Oh, okay, I still got it. Let's see how far this goes. So I started flirting back, like really flirting. At first it was harmless, some light teasing, a laugh here and there. Nothing crazy, nothing, oh my God, someone stop her, yet. But the drinks kept coming, and the more I drank, the bolder I got. You know how alcohol just takes your internal warning signs and throws them into a fire? Yeah, that was me. Suddenly, I wasn't just flirting, I was laying it on thick. Looking at him like I forgot I had a whole-ass husband. And the worst part? I knew what I was doing. I wasn't out of body. I was fully present in my stupidity, aware of it, and still diving headfirst into it like it was a pool with no water. I guess the more I drank, the bolder I became. That shitty little voice in my head kept whispering, maybe this'll finally make him react. Maybe this'll finally get under his skin. Maybe this is what it takes to make him jealous. And God, I wish I'd shut that voice up. I wish I'd slapped it across the damn face and said, not tonight, Satan. But nope. I leaned into it. I laid into it. Even when things started to tip into that too far territory, like really far. Even when I started catching the looks from my husband and friends, those tight smiles and panicked glances, they were trying to rein me in without making a scene, but I ignored them. I pretended. I acted like I couldn't see their faces, like I didn't notice the signals they were throwing at me like damn red flags in a hurricane. I just kept pushing, pretended I didn't understand. Like, oops, me? Flirting? No, never. And I continued, laid it on thick, like maple syrup on a stack of bad decisions. I was being ridiculous and I knew it, but I was also committed. I wanted that reaction. I was craving it. And then my husband snapped. The kind of guy who rarely raises his voice or makes a scene. He called me out right there in the middle of the bar, and it hit me like a slap to the face. Except instead of feeling guilty, I was angry. I was drunk. I was defensive. Because in my head, I hadn't done anything technically wrong. Right? I didn't cheat. Not really. It was just words, just some eye contact, a few flirty touches maybe. I wasn't cheating. Not really. Right? And honestly, I also felt triumphant. I felt like I had won. Like finally, this man had shown jealousy. Finally, he reacted. Finally, I had proof that he cared. I know, it sounds awful. But that's exactly how I felt in that moment. Drunk and selfish and stupidly proud of myself. So when he called me out, I argued back. Because why not? I was already in deep. And he stormed out, just left. I should have gone after him. I should have followed him out, grabbed his hand, said I was sorry. Begged him, cried, done something. Maybe, we could have salvaged it right there. But I didn't. Nope. Drunk me decided to stay put. Thought it'd be more embarrassing to run after him. Thought it would just escalate things. Thought if I stayed and laughed it off, maybe later we could joke about it like, wow, I got so drunk that night, huh? Like it'd be some cute little mess I could clean up in the morning. So I sat there, didn't move, tried to make a joke out of it. Oh my God, he's so dramatic, right? Fake laughed with my friends, pretended it was all nothing. Plus I was drunk. So it wasn't like I was thinking rationally or even close to being sober enough to make good decisions. My brain was all fuzz and liquor and bad judgment, so yeah, I stayed back at the bar, hung around with our friends in the most awkward, thick silence kind of way. No one was really talking to me. Some of them were giving me side eyes, others just flat out ignored me. And I was trying to act all cool, like nothing had happened, laughing at dry jokes. Sipping water now like that would undo the mess I made. It was just bad. Eventually the night wound down. Someone, bless them, offered to drop me off at home. I said yes, thinking, okay, he's probably cooled off by now. Maybe we'll fight, maybe finally have that big argument we never have, maybe we'll actually talk for once. I even rehearsed lines in my head in the car, like little dramatic speeches. I thought we'd shout, cry, maybe make up, something. But what I did not expect was to pull up and see all my shit, my bags, my little tote, even my charger and shoes, sitting on the porch, neatly packed. Not even tossed, packed. The moment I saw them, my heart just dropped straight to my damn knees. I started panicking. What the fuck? I mean, who wouldn't? That's not some regular, we had a fight type of situation. That's I'm done with you energy. That's don't come back kind of message. I ran to the front door, locked, tried the back, locked, bolted, as if I was a stranger trying to break in. Now I'm full on panicking. My hands were shaking and my mouth was dry. I started calling him immediately, no response. I texted, nothing, left on raid, and I knew he was inside. His car was right there in the driveway, exactly where he always parks it. Lights were off, but I knew. I knew he was in there, probably hearing every single ring and buzz from his phone and just choosing not to care. I called him again, and again, and again. I texted him, pleaded, still nothing. I started banging on the door, loud. I didn't care anymore. I was full on screaming at that point, yelling his name, begging, crying, telling him to just let me in, that we could talk, that it wasn't that serious, that I didn't cheat, that I didn't mean for it to go that far. I think I stood out there for a damn hour, maybe more, just standing there in the dark, crying and pounding on the door like some desperate, heartbroken idiot. After a while, I realized that he wasn't going to open the door. He wasn't going to come out. He wasn't even going to respond. I was locked out, literally and emotionally. So finally, after all that begging and crying and making a scene in my own damn neighborhood, I realized I couldn't stay there. I couldn't camp on the porch all night. As much as my heart was breaking, as humiliated as I felt, I had to move. So I picked up my bags and went to get a damn hotel room. For days, my husband didn't talk to me. Nothing. Complete silence, like I didn't even exist. And I was going crazy. I tried everything I possibly could, like everything short of sending a damn carrier pigeon. I reached out through our friends, begging, pleading, asking them to talk to him, to at least tell him to hear me out. I even reached out to his family. Yeah, I know how desperate that sounds, but I was desperate. I must have sent 1,000,000 texts, called 1,000,000 times, left voicemails crying and begging and explaining and over-explaining, showed up at the house, not once, not twice, but literally so many times in one day it was borderline stalking. I would just sit in the porch for hours, hoping to catch even a glimpse of him. And the weirdest part, I never caught him, not even once. I still don't know how the hell I didn't see him coming in or going out. It was like he was slipping in and out of that house like a goddamn ghost, like he was avoiding me on purpose, which, yeah, obviously he was, but it still drove me mad. At one point I started timing it, no, really, like a full-blown obsession. I tried to come over at the time he left for work, the time he got home, hoping I could accidentally run into him. I even set alarms to get there early enough to wait on the curb like some broken puppy. But nope, nada. Couldn't catch him. And still, nothing. No matter how much I reached out, he just went radio silent until about a week later. And when he finally texted me back, after all that silence, after all those messages and calls and begging and showing up like a lunatic, he replied with one fucking text telling me we were done and getting a divorce. What The actual fuck? I stared at that message like it was in another language. I was so confused. Like, what do you mean we're getting a divorce? You just get to decide that without even talking to me, without a conversation, without trying? I was panicking all over again. I kept reading the message over and over like somehow it would change the 5th time I read it. I didn't get it. I didn't understand. We had one fight, one blowout, one really bad night. But people fuck up, right? People say shit and do dumb things when they're drunk and angry and insecure. But you talk about it. You fix it. So I tried again. I begged him to talk to me. I texted him so many times. Please, can we meet up and talk this through? Can we go to counseling? I'll do anything. Please don't throw us away like this. And still, nothing. He left me on read. Eventually, I started getting angry. Like seriously fucking angry. What the fuck did he mean by we're done? Just like that? After everything? I started texting him some really nasty things, cussing him out. And that's when he texted again. He said he wasn't a fool, that the night at the bar wasn't the first time, and that I'd been trying to get under my skin for weeks. But he kept quiet, like, what? I was shocked. Because yeah, okay, maybe I had been pushing him, but I didn't think he noticed. I didn't think he actually felt anything. And the second he did, the moment I finally got some kind of reaction, this was it. Just done. He refused to budge. He wouldn't talk to me, wouldn't listen, wouldn't even consider therapy or counseling or anything. I don't think I've ever felt that level of helplessness in my life. It was like screaming into a void that used to love me. At some point I kept thinking, he's going to regret this. I mean, how could he not? He's going to do a complete 180. He's going to come around, realize he loves me, and change his mind, right? I kept telling myself that, hoping for some miracle, for some sign that things would go back to normal. But obviously not. If he was going to change his mind, I wouldn't be sitting here writing this post. I wouldn't be in this godforsaken hotel room at 3 a.m. crying over my own misery. Then I got served. Yeah, I got served. And that was the moment everything hit me like a freight train. I think that's when it really, really sank in that he wasn't playing around. He meant every word he'd said. He didn't want to talk to me. He didn't want to fix things. He didn't even want to try. And honestly, that was the hardest pill to swallow. I mean, I couldn't even beg for another chance in person anymore. At one point, I even showed up to his workplace. Yeah, I went to his office thinking maybe I could catch him there and we could finally have a real conversation, like adults. Maybe I could convince him to just listen for once. But nope. He called security on me, straight up. He didn't even want to see me. Just security. He told me to sign the damn papers and that no matter what, there was no point in talking because it wouldn't change anything. What the fuck? Like, I still keep thinking, this has to be some sick joke. I'm going to wake up, and none of this will have actually happened. Maybe I've been in a coma for the last couple of weeks, and everything that's gone down is just some insane dream. I know that sounds ridiculous, but honestly, even that would feel better than living this as my reality. I feel miserable. Hell, I don't even know how to feel. It's like all the emotions I should be feeling are jumbled up inside me, and nothing is making sense anymore. I'm angry, hurt, confused, devastated. I love this man with my whole damn heart. And now, I'm standing here wondering if I'll ever be able to fix this, but I don't even know where to start. He's not the type to make empty threats. When he says something, he means it. And the fact that he's pushing for this divorce with no room for discussion, I know this is real. He's serious. I've been waiting, though, hoping. I keep telling myself that he's going to come to his senses, that he'll be like, okay, wait a minute, let's talk this through. But no, nothing. Nada, zilch. No change, no call, no message, no, hey, maybe I overreacted. Just silence. And that silence, it's killing me. I don't even know why I'm making this post. Maybe it's the alcohol talking. I'm honestly tipsy as hell right now, but I just need to get it out. It's almost 3 a.m., and I'm alone in a damn hotel room. A hotel room. This isn't a temporary thing. I'm not staying at some friend's house, or even with my family, because they're not even in the same state as me. They're not even close. Hell, I'm not sure I have much family left at all. My friends, I've tried. Trust me, I've begged. Some of them have valid reasons for not being able to help. Some of them, not so much. But whatever, I guess I'm just a burden now. And I hate myself for letting it get this far. I'm angry at myself. I'm pissed that I let things spiral like this. I feel completely out of control, like my life is happening without me, and I don't even know how to stop it. I've been staring at the ceiling for hours, letting this overwhelming feeling of confusion swallow me up. So yeah, that's it. That's where I am right now. Alone, lost, miserable, confused. Update. Hello, Reddit. Why the hell am I even making this post? Honestly, I don't know. But here I am, sitting in my parents' house, half depressed, trying to find some solace in typing this shit out. Gotta do something, right? First off, I never expected that first post to blow up the way it did. It's gone viral, and let me tell you, that's not something I planned for. Thousands of comments, some supportive, others calling me out. Yeah, it's been a ride. And a lot of you, rightfully so, were saying things like, you deserve it, and learn from your mistakes and all that. You're right, I do deserve it. I'm not here to defend myself. I fucked up. Bad. I've seen some people say I was trying to justify my actions, but come on, did you even read my original post? I said it 1,000,000 times. I wasn't trying to make excuses. I know what I did was beyond dumb. I can't even begin to explain it. I fucked up and I've admitted it. And I think deep down I knew I was heading for disaster, but did I do anything about it? Nope. Like a dumbass, I just kept going until the whole damn thing fell apart. So here we are. Let's get to the update, shall we? Well, first I'll say this. The divorce is finalized. Yeah, I'm officially divorced. Took a few months, a lot of pain, and some hard lessons, but here we are. Honestly, it still hurts like a bitch. That's one of the reasons why I've taken so long to update. Once that shit went down, I was in a spiral. I didn't know what to do with myself. I especially couldn't even bring myself to post anything on Reddit, partly because I was just going through the motions of misery, and also because all the comments just kept piling up. I definitely didn't want to be reading all those comments about how I deserved this or that. People telling me I deserved it only made me feel worse. It was just too much. So I went quiet for a while. I was so fucking lost. It was hell. Absolute fucking hell. I was staying in homeless shelters for a while. Yeah, you read that right. Homeless. Couldn't afford hotels anymore, so I was living off whatever I could scrape together. At one point, I was even sleeping at my workplace. Shout out to my former boss for letting me do that, by the way. If it wasn't for him, I would have been sleeping in the street. I don't have a car, so it wasn't like I could even sleep in my vehicle or anything. It was a dark time, really dark. Once the divorce hit, everything came crashing down. The reality of it all, the guilt, the pain, all of it. I was still homeless at the time, and it just kept getting worse. My friends, they all chose sides, and I can't blame them for that. They sided with him, and even though they didn't say it outright, it was obvious. I lost almost everyone. I didn't have much money, and I definitely didn't have a place to stay. So I scraped together whatever I could, got a plane ticket, and flew back to my parents. Now, living with my parents, that's a different beast. It's better than being homeless, but goddamn, it's its own kind of hell. They don't believe in divorce. They believe I fucked up, and they let me know that every damn day. It's exhausting, but I'm here, under their roof, because I don't have many options. I won't complain too much. As annoying as they are, at least I have a place to stay. It's not much, but it's better than sleeping in a shelter, right? Oh, and I had to quit my job, since I was moving, and they didn't have an office in the state I was moving to. But after a bit of time, I found something new. It's not great, doesn't pay well, and it's a lot more depressing than my old job, but it's a paycheck. And it's close enough to my parents' place that I don't need to worry about transportation. But trust me, I'm job hunting. I'm trying to do better, hoping for something that actually pays decent. Right now, though, I'll take what I can get. To be honest, I've been in a pretty dark place for a while, just wallowing in my own shit, hating myself. I'm not where I want to be, not even close, but I'm slowly realizing that everyone else is moving on with their lives. And here I am, stuck in the past, feeling like garbage. So, I'm doing what I can to try and pick myself up, even if it's in small steps. I've started job searching like my life depends on it, because it kind of does, and I'm hoping something will click soon. Maybe one day I'll get my own damn place and escape this house. That's the dream. Just a place of my own where I can breathe, you know? I still miss him every damn day, and I regret everything. If I could go back in time, trust me, I would. I regret it all. I hate that I did this to myself, and I hate that I hurt him in the process. I don't know why I did it, I really don't. There were no external factors, it was just me being an idiot, and I can't fix that. But I'm trying to make peace with it. I'm working on myself, even though it feels like I'm nowhere near being okay. But I'm trying. That's all I can do, right? So, yeah, that's my update. Life's still miserable as hell, but I'm pushing forward. Here's hoping things get better.